Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, have you ever had indecision? Confusion. And it holds you back. You don't know, should I do this? Or should I do, well, hey, here's Paul. Paul from the Personal Development Unplugged podcast. Do you know what that's like? For me, I think, well, I want something. But I do really want it, I think. But there's a lot of buts, isn't there? You see, there's a feeling. I get this feeling. And I suppose it's like sometimes for me, it's in my tummy. Just a little bit in my tummy. It's not massive, by the way. It's not a massive anxiety thing. But it's an off feeling. You know, when you have indecision and confusion, it feels like confusion, but in my tummy. A little bit anxious, maybe. And I'm not quite sure. I want to do it, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I even think sometimes, well, if I did that, what would other people think? I get that belief, that thing, who am I? Who am I to want to do that, let alone do it? But that's sometimes in the background. That's not always there. It's not always there, but it can be, can't it? But I've got this thing. It's like I've got two sides. One is I want, one if I don't. One if I don't. And I just don't know what to do. And what happens? What happens when it happens like that? I mean, have you experienced that? What do you see in your mind? You see what you want, and then you see sometimes the pitfalls, don't you? Get that little voice in your head, and you think, I don't know. But the thing is, when nothing happens like that, it makes me feel down. Because I knew on some level, I would have liked to have done that thing that I'm not doing. But I just can't make up my mind. And because of that feeling a little bit down, I also feel like I've lost something. It's a feeling of being unfulfilled. And that then sort of mixes with that feeling in my tummy. And to me, it's a little bit like, I just don't know what's happening. I mean, I can have all the logic. I can have all the facts. It's all there. But the thing is, I just seem to go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And there's a loop. And it doesn't go away. And I know I like to think of options. Because I'm an options person. But even when I go through options in my lovely mind maps, I still ruminate. And sometimes it just makes it worse because I still don't know what to do. And I've still got this feeling that I want to do it. And I've still got this feeling that, I'm not sure. Unfulfilled. A little bit down. Because I did want it. So what could we do? I suppose just wait, can't you? No. What we can do is, it's a lovely little process. And it's all about forgetting the facts, forgetting all your thoughts, but to listen. Listen to the pictures in our mind, the pictures from those feelings. Pictures of, call it the issue, and the pictures of what we'd like to do. I call that the solution, because I'd really like to do that, and everything in between. That's weird, isn't it? It's weird. And I'm going to go through it with you because it's such a simple little process. It really is. So you could do this with me if you can think of something now that you're just undecided on. That'd be cool. That'll be cool. Doesn't have to be big, by the way. This is a lovely process for big stuff and little stuff. For the big stuff, sometimes it just helps loosen the model of the world to give you more options, to give you an insight, and then you can move forward. Save all that rumination, the back and forward. It allows you to have a bit more momentum. And on the small stuff, sometimes I think, for me anyway, I just sort of get an intuitive, I'm going to do this, or I'm not. Or I do something a little bit different. And I go, wow, that's what I should have done all the time. So if you'd like to play along with me, come into my brain and I'll go into yours just for a bit. We can have a little bit of fun. But it's all about imagination, Imagineering. And what I want you to do, now you've got to be, again, when I do this, I do it open eyes. Eyes open. That's a better way of saying it, Cluffy. And I actually move into different spaces. I have a space over there for my issue, the bit that gives me that funny feeling. I have another space over there that I think is my solution, what I want. And I can imagine everything in between and around it. And I move between them. But you can do this in your mind. So if you're not going to move around, just close your eyes, because then you do it all in your mind. And if you're going to move around, well, move around. And then we always come back to the same place, where we are right now. Because where we are right now, we can see those spaces and the spaces in between. We're in ourselves. So whichever way you do it is absolutely perfect, and nothing is perfect, so whatever you do will be just right. So if it's okay, if you're going to close your eyes, make sure everything is safe. And remember, this is not highly emotional, all that stuff. I don't want you doing anything highly emotional, because it's not for that. This is just a simple process of clearing indecision. That's the way I use it anyway. So, what are you going to do? You just close your eyes for me. And take a breath. A nice cleansing breath, as it were. Just breathe in for the count of 4. Just hold it for a second or two. And then breathe out gently for maybe the count of 5, 6 or 7 or 8, whichever. And then breathe normally. And now with your eyes closed. Well, by the way, if I didn't say it, just make sure you're not doing anything that needs your attention, because it is eyes closed, remember. So no driving, nothing like that. So let's just start again. Just you know now that you're not going to be disturbed. You've got a safe place. You close your eyes, you take that deep breath for the count of 4, you hold it just for a second or two, and then just let it out gently. And relax, because this is a lovely, comfortable process. It's just listening to the pictures in our mind. And I want you to imagine that space over there. Could be to the right, to the left, you choose. Just imagine in your mind, over there, there's a space. And in that space is where your issue is, that place of indecision, the thing you would, it's just that where that feeling is, maybe, I guess. So just put that feeling over there. Maybe some of your doubts, the thoughts that you have, just imagine just sending them over into that space. And as you send them over there, here's the thing. You either walk, if you're doing it eyes open, but imagine now floating into that space, that problem space, that issue space. And as you stand in there in your imagination, or in real life, but stand there in your imagination, you're in that space, feel the emotion, and then, and only then, notice what picture comes to mind. And it doesn't matter what it is, because it's symbolic. It's your unconscious mind giving you a symbolic representation. So it could be anything. It could be a mountain stream. It could be a wall. It could be, I don't know, the Sahara Desert, a river, the sea, anything at all. So just in your own time, just tune in and notice without editing what comes to mind. And it's a picture. I don't want words. I don't want feelings. Just the picture. Could be a movie. But just notice what you see. And as you notice what you see, you may get an understanding. I don't. I very rarely get an understanding like that straight away. It's just, oh, that's interesting. Well, I wonder. I even sometimes wonder, that's an interesting picture I'm seeing now. Interesting little movie. Sometimes I see it in cartoon colours, but it's just what it is. And sometimes it's not even 20/20 vision, by the way. I get glimpses of it. But just know your unconscious mind is doing the symbolic representation. So whether you get it completely consciously, it doesn't really matter. And just notice what you notice. And have your unconscious mind learn. Learn what it's trying to communicate with you. Because it's more about the unconscious mind learning and your unconscious mind getting your conscious mind getting glimpses. But you may get it. And as you've noticed this picture, this video, or whatever it is, just notice it and then leave it there and come back to where you started. So imagine coming back into your body, or come back to this space if you're walking, if you're moving. And then over the other side, I want you to imagine the solution. Now, you may not know the solution because it might not be exactly what you wanted initially, what you consciously thought that you wanted, put it that way. But it is the solution. And what I want you to do, as you notice that solution, space, it's just a spatial awareness of the solution is over there. I want you either to walk into that space or just imagine floating from here into that space, standing in that space in your imagination. And as you do that, you may just feel an emotion of the solution. You may hear some words, but I want the words and the feelings to disappear and only just welcome. Give yourself permission to have this unconscious symbolic representation of the solution. And sometimes for me, they can be so weird. I don't understand it as being a solution. It is just a movie to me. So I might see mountains now. I might see the sun, the moon. I might see stars. I might see a boat. I might see a plane. I might see anything. Whatever it is, I just open your mind to allow the picture to get a little clearer now. And just ask your unconscious mind, what do I need to learn from this? Allow me to learn consciously of this solution. But we're not there yet because we haven't finished, you see. Just wait, just for a moment. Just relax. Breathe into this solution state, this solution picture. And if you don't get anything, don't worry. Your unconscious mind has it. I believe that. Just know that you are in the place of the solution, whatever that may be. Now here's the thing. When you're there, now come back to yourself, this safe space. I call it a safe space only because it's a place which is not in the solution and not in the issue, okay? It's in that intermediate state, into the intermediate place, as it were. You. And then notice there's a space in between those two places and a space that goes all the way round and in between the whole of everything else. And as you do that, you may just notice from here, you get an understanding. You get an understanding of what needs to be done from that issue space to get to that solution space. Sometimes you might get another symbol that just you understand. Sometimes you might get a little bit of intuition. Or sometimes you just need to ask your unconscious mind, when this process is finished, just allow me to intuitively know the direction to go, to allow me to make those small steps that will allow me to find the solution, enjoy the solution, and learn along the way. Making sure everything is safe for me, comfortable to keep me safe, to enjoy life. So just allow, just for a moment or two, the steps, the process of getting from over there, the issue, to over there, the solution. And sometimes for me, sometimes I see things which suddenly make sense. And sometimes I hear something, like my own voice telling me what to do. And it's always like, that option, or that makes so much sense now not to do that, but to do it in a different way. Or to actually have a different goal. Because it's slightly different, not the same. And when I think of that, guess what? That old feeling disappears. That old funny feeling. The feeling that I'm unfulfilled disappears completely. Any anxiety disappears from here. And from here you can thank your unconscious mind and go, okay, what could I learn from this? And this or something better. And then just open your eyes. Open your eyes. Come back to the real world. Come back to me. Now, I don't know whether you've got the answer right now, or whether it'll take a little time to process. I think it's always great now to get a paper and pencil and start to just let your unconscious mind come to your conscious mind and start writing a few notes. Just some ideas, maybe, because I don't want you to lose them. I want you to remember them. And I want you to remember to take that first step. What is the first, most smallest, easiest, comfortable step? Or maybe allow me to see the real direction I'm going, the real solution, and notice how it makes you feel. And it could be just as much, this is not the thing to do. Let's find something better. Or this is the solution, although we've made it richer. Who knows? Because that's the process. Allow it to process inside you, gently. Allow this integration of learning. Getting this wonderful connection with your unconscious mind. Because your unconscious mind really works so much better in symbols, symbolic representations, because it doesn't need words. It just allows you to get an understanding. And when you're ready, just say, decide what you're going to do. Schedule it. And it may be just a schedule, well, what am I? So I'm going to really go for this now. Or no, I'm going to put it away. I'm going to park it. But at least you feel good about it. You feel, for me, I just feel solid in the decision that I make. And I've made so many good decisions following this process. And they're not the ones I first thought of. Not the thing that I really wanted, or I thought in the past I really wanted. But the answer is more enticing, more motivating, more wantable. and it just seems right for me. It seems aligned to who I am and what I want and where I'm going and the direction I'm headed and all that stuff. So if you get that feeling, now you know. That's a good feeling. I hope you enjoyed that. That came from, well, I think I've butchered it slightly or adapted it and evolved it a little bit from a Robert Dilts, an NLP master trainer, who had this lovely, it's like a parts integration but symbolic. And I've just changed it so we can use it in our mind. And it's the way I use it, put it that way. And it's such a lovely, gentle process, isn't it? Because when you're just seeing things, you're not getting emotional. You're not getting anything at all. And we're not really talking about emotional things anyway. We're just looking for directions. We're just looking for some help, some guidance from our unconscious mind. So we can then work in unison together, conscious and unconscious alignment. And that's where the good things happen. That's when we feel totally 100% congruent in what we say, what we think, and how we move our body. We just get it. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. It's simple. It's easy. It takes effort. You have to do it. Remember, you can't just, oh yeah, they're really good, Paul. No, you have to really do it. You have to do whatever it takes. Have the will to do whatever it takes and give yourself permission to find the answers. And because they're only little steps, you can keep maneuvering. You can keep the motivation going and keep the winning. There you go. I always say I hope, but I do hope that I have explained this, communicated this in a way that is understandable, is doable, because I know I'll get you the results you want. I'm sure about it. I believe that. And if you would, this might be something that maybe it's a bit kooky to share, but it is shareable. If only you say, I know you do you ever get indecision? Confusion? I heard this lovely little process and it's so easy. Have a listen to Paul, old Cluffy over there. Personal Development Unplugged. Great podcast. No, that was me saying it. I'd like you to think it was a great podcast, but if you could just share it, that'd be awesome. You don't know what it means to me. And if you can give me some feedback, did I communicate it in a way that was okay? Was I linguistically legible, understandable? And did it make you feel comfortable? If there's any feedback that you can help me make it even more better, that would be awesome. Email me, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. If there's anything you'd like help with, or maybe going through another process or a similar process like this, or find you a process or develop a process just for you, just email me. Same email, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. And I will come back to you personally, because I always do. I'm the only bugger here, really, so it has to be personal. But you'll always get a reply. And we'll work something out. And I'll direct you to a process. I might even direct you to like a hypnosis track. One of my complimentary hypnosis tracks, or somebody else's. I don't care whose, as long as it's the right thing to do. So do that. If you want to know about hypnosis tracks, just go to paulcloughonline.com/podcast. There's 60 odd, and you'll find something there, I know. But I'd love to hear from you. Just to say hi. Even if you send me an email, hi, or if you find me on social media, because I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X. I think I'm everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but if you just said hi, that would be awesome. Again, awesome. Have fun. And just enjoy. See you soon, because it's time to fly.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.